A very good evening. It's Tuesday. What a trio we've got tonight. It's myself, Mr. Dave Smith, top left. Sorry, Michael McCure. Michael, how are we?
Hi Dave, well, mate, good to be back on with you. The best presenter on, apart from me, but oh, sorry, did you say that out? Did you say that out loud there? Sorry, I never meant that. Yeah, happy to be here.
Absolutely. Richard Keys is still in Dubai, so unfortunately it's Regan Stevenson with us. Regan, how are we?
Dave, I'm doing well. Thank you for having us on again. I'm just looking forward to a big night in Scottish football. So I think it's going to be very, very good for us.
Absolutely. So yes, can Aberdeen do Celtic a favourite Pittodrie? But first and foremost, we'll speak about Celtic. Professional performance, Regan. We'll start with you, Michael. Sorry. Professional performance, 3 points for Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, it was, first of all, Dave, it was brilliant being back in the Skiggum last night. It was a good game. It was a good atmosphere and a good kind of light show as well. Hopefully one of these seasons we'll see the light show in the Champions League, but there you go, that's for another show and another night. No, but brilliant to see the team playing and brilliant to see the new guys putting on the hoops. And for Maida, after 3 minutes to put the ball in the net, and after that, the Skiggum was rocking. After that, what I would say quickly, Dave, about Hibs was I enjoyed watching Hibs last night. Obviously, apart from they get beat, but like they passed the ball well. And what I like about Sean Maloney's teams are going to be quite exciting because they don't actually park the bus. They kind of like had a go. In fact, they nearly scored in the first couple of minutes as well. So, I was all in all, it was a good night's work and good 3 points for Ange Postecoglou and the Celtic team. And good kick on now.
Yeah. Regan, this victory can't be undermined for myself, Persuasion, because Hibs had been going good until prior to the break.
No, Dave, you're but I think you're bang on there. I think Celtic played very, very well last night, and it was so good to see the Japanese boys settle in perfect. I thought Real was absolutely fantastic, and Maeda took his goal well. I thought what also was very impressive. I thought that was the first 45 minutes under Ange Postecoglou was the best 45 minutes that we've seen under Ange Postecoglou as Celtic manager.
Yep. Usually, what I don't know if you would agree with me, Regan, but half-time came at a bad time for Celtic last night because they were on top as well. But what I was saying to you before we came on air was maybe you can allow, because that was Celtic's first game back for a couple of weeks as well. But no, I mean, you're right that the first 45 minutes could have been easily 4-0 at half-time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Celtic totally dominated the game. Obviously, Sean Maloney's team had that great chance through Nisbet in the first 2 minutes of the game, and then Celtic went up straight up the other end. But obviously, Sean Maloney will look back at that and think that was a great chance. But I think Ange Postecoglou will be very, very happy. And I'm starting to think that Ange Postecoglou think he's got a great squad now, Dave, because if you look at that bench as well, that was probably the first time that they had a proper bench that you could say, well, Mikey Johnson could be off the bench. You've got Giakoumakis who could be off the bench. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options now for Ange Postecoglou.
Absolutely. Celtic manager Ange Postecoglou says Japanese midfielder Ryo Hitate has his eyes on reaching the very top. Michael, what a performance last night from the Japanese player.
Yeah, I mean, it was just brilliant. He's going to cause defences a lot of problems as well. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think he got off to a good start last night as well. He linked up well with Rogic in the midfield, I would say. And he was that good. You forgot McGregor was actually playing last night. That's how good he was. He took over that role very well. He was moving about very quickly around the park. So yeah, exciting times to come.
Yep, absolutely. Throughout the first half of the campaign, Regan, Celtic's attacking threat was often blunt without Kyogo leading the line. Lack of intensity was always evident without Kyogo. But fellow countryman Dyson looks like he will provide a similar impact as well.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, I think that's what I said to you about 2 weeks ago on the show. I think it just shows that Ange Postecoglou can now rotate those two, because I don't think I think it's either one or the other, or I think that Dyson will play on the left hand side, because I think when Celtic were bringing on Albion Ajeti in the first half of the season, he wasn't having the same impact, Dave.
It's all about hunting down Rangers now, as far as Celtic fans are concerned and Celtic football clubs concerned, Mike.
Yeah, no disrespect to her, yeah, if he's watching this, but as you were saying, Reagan, you know, like when I get to play for Celtic, I was like playing for, I was like Celtic being, sorry, I was like Celtic being down to 10 men in the team because it was non-existent. But yeah, on to your question, Dave, about tonight's game. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very exciting game. First of all, I think it's going to be a good atmosphere because you know the history with the two sets of fans as well. And obviously, adding to the mix that you've got Scott Brown playing for Aberdeen, so a very exciting Aberdeen. But this is a very important stage of the season from Aberdeen because, as you know, they've not been sitting out heather and light so far. But again, you know, that was the last team to take points off of Rangers, Aberdeen, down at Ibrox at the other part of the season as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a very kind of like entertaining game. But as I say, Aberdeen needs to pick up points and start performing. And you know, if you're an Aberdeen fan, you wish it would start tonight as well. So, but good to have come in and see.
Yeah, good point coming in here from Red Scotland, Regan. Carl Starfelt played outstanding last night. Boston defence, real mature performance. We've had a lot of critics on this show regarding Starfelt, but
yeah,
he was good last night.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen pundits as well, such as Davy Provan and Stubbs as well, basically saying that Starfelt's days at Celtic are numbered, and I just don't see that narrative, because I think he's not put a foot wrong apart from the cup final where he made a few mistakes. But apart from that, he's been pretty good, and I think Ange Postecoglou has shown his mettle by playing him every single week. Because do you think someone like Ange Postecoglou would play someone, Dave, if he didn't have trust in him?
Well, I mean, you've seen this type of situation with like Griffiths of late, right? Wade Griffiths isn't walking around Celtic Football Club anymore. Not in a bad way, Mayor, but he's not welcome in the aspect of he might create a little bit of trouble around the camp. And Ange Postecoglou's shown his man management with that. And he's been a great man manager since arriving at Celtic, and he's been a great man manager for years, Regan. That's the thing. He's playing players in positions, and he's getting players into good positions, getting good results, and getting some big goals in there as well. You've got to remember, if you look back 6 months ago, Celtic were on their knees basically, and when you look at it now, you wouldn't have thought Celtic were in dire straits by summertime. It just goes to show you how much of a difference Ange Postecoglou has made in a short space of time.
Yeah, and I don't think it's just the football team he's had an impact on. I think the Celtic fans have really bought into him as well, Dave, because you see that. I think you just see Celtic Park last night. They're totally buying into what Ange is doing, and I think all of the players he's brought in, he's totally got trust of the Celtic board. He's got trust of the Celtic fans, and I think he could definitely bring success to Celtic this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, with the fact that obviously Tate has dominated midfield last night, do you think that frees up Carl McGregor to do his job and roam forward?
Yeah, I mean, I prefer McGregor a wee bit forward in the team. Obviously, he's a captain, so he needs to kind of like play week in, week out. That goes without saying it as well. But yeah, I mean, just to kind of like mix up as well. But by bringing in the three guys, it's it feels more like a squad now, compared to if we were having this conversation in November. You were lucky Celtic picked a 5-a-side team, never mind the 11-a-side team as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting as well when David Turnbull comes back. Will we go straight into the team, or will we be, whatever? Obviously, Turnbull won't be back till I'm hearing the middle of February as well. At the moment, so it's going to be like interesting as well for people to fight for their places.
Absolutely. Just to clarify to the viewers, we are going to go into the other games, but we're going to wait till the team lines comes out. So we'll probably spend a large chunk in this game, and we're not just spending it because we've got a self persuasion or whatever have you. It's just so we can go and get everybody's thoughts in the team lines and everything like that, and we've got a whole collective rather than doing what we. It's like rolling butter, right? You don't want to do half a bit and then do the other bit. You want a full sliced toast with butter. So there we go. There's your toasted butter spread for tonight, sorted. But yes, Hibs could have been in front here, gents, last night. I mean, this bit, I've seen a lot of things on Twitter and social media about how they thought, certain people or certain fans thought the currently Griffiths is better than the current Kevin Nisbet, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, because I think Nisbet has really went off. I don't think he's done too well the last few months. If I'm being honest, he's got in that Scotland squad and then he's went off the boil, Dave. So I hope he gets back to the form that he's been showing. But from a Celtic persuasion last night, they'll just be glad that he didn't notch that one. But it's just disappointing for him because under Jack Ross, he was scoring a lot of goals and doing well, and obviously that made it into the Scotland squad. But obviously, as Steve Clarke has shown, Dave, if you're not doing well at the club level, then you will be picked. Because you've seen David Marshall, he's not played in club level and he's not in the squad. So if Kevin doesn't start scoring goals, then he'll not be in that Scotland squad.
And I mean, Sean Maloney pulls no prisoners, Mike. When you look at him, he's already made some big decisions during his tenure at Hibs, and some big players have been left out already, either through injury or indeed not been playing to the best of their ability and form-wise.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I don't know what Reagan thought about the Hibs support last night, but I thought they brought a big support for Monday night game as well. I don't know if it's because it was the first game back after the winter break or because they're on a good runner for them, kind of like at the moment. But I was quite impressed with the Hibs support, considering that you've got other teams that comes to Celtic and Ibrox, and they only bring about two men and the dog sometimes. So it was good to see a kind of like decent support from Hibs as well. But yeah, I mean, Hibs, up until last night, Dave, they were in a good run of form. I thought, what was it, 2 games that Sean Maloney was in charge of, and they got, I think one of the games they went up to Paradise as well, and did they not beat Dundee United 1-2?
And I was at the game, Mike, and they were comprehensive. They were good in the eye. They played at a very high intensity, and it was similar when they played Aberdeen. I mean, Aberdeen were going okay at the time. That was 2 very good victories in a space of a week for Sean Maloney there.
And I know that you can argue the fact that, well, Aberdeen's a poor team, yeah, but it doesn't matter if they're a poor team or a brilliant team, you still got to beat them at the end of the day. And obviously they got 6 points in the bag, kind of like already. And, you know, they've got a chance to go a run in the cup on, is it Thursday night, at Easter Road that they play that game. So they've got a chance of going back to Hampden as well. You know, like home advantage and all that, but you know, it's a one-off game. Anything could happen. But yeah, back to your point. I mean, I was just glad to see a team play coming out and having a go at Celtic, and obviously maybe like punish them in the first minute. you know, it makes a hell of a difference when you're watching the game at Parkhead or Ibrox, where teams actually come out and play football and don't park about 5 buses behind the ball, because it's a bit it's a bit boring to watch, but B, it's like, well, how do you break down kind of like teams like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Dean Gibson, the Hibs manager, women's manager, was on Twitter last night bemoaning the fact that Leanne Ross and Jane Lewis spoke about Celtic's, asked questions about Celtic women, 6-time career to Hibs women's as one. So I think it's only right that we go and ask an extra question about Hibs, Regan. What positives does Sean Maloney take out of this?
I think he takes it out that they went down 2-0 pretty early, and they stayed in the game, because it's like Michael said, it could have got a bit too much for them, and they could have went and conceded 4 or 5 goals. So the fact that they only kept it to 2-0 and they still had a proper go at Celtic, then that shows real bottle for them. And I don't think Sean Maloney will be too dissatisfied, because he's just through the door. He's just become the manager, so he's just implementing these new ideas. So I think he'll be just looking forward to the Scottish Cup starting and hoping that his team can get through to that next round.
Now, you'll love this, Regan. So will you, Mike, of course. But BBC's post-match interview with Orange Postecoglou last night, Chick Young tried to compare Hatate to Nakamura after his brilliant performance. Did you guys listen to that at all?
Yeah, no, I heard that. Yeah, that was a custard pie right in Chick's face. So, yeah, that was nice.
No, I didn't listen to that, but Dave, as you know, Nakamura was my favourite player. So, yeah.
Well, I've replied on this specific point. No, he's real Hatate, mate.
Yeah, I think that's typical Ange. I don't think he holds back on what he thinks.
What do you think of the comparisons? Both of you, actually. I'll start with you, Sean, Mike. What do you think of the comparisons between Hatate and Nakamura?
I don't really know. First of all, Dave, I don't know who's really good at giving answers to we as in the media, Gordon Strachan or Andrei Postecoglou. And I think Postecoglou's ahead at the moment. But I think it's a bit unfair to, you know, I know why you're asking me that question, Dave, but one game, but maybe come back and ask me that after like a few games, or even after the Rangers game if it goes ahead, and I'll give you a kind of like answer. They were playing in 2 different teams as well, so that obviously that's so obvious, that one, but yeah, I wouldn't want to comment on that yet. But what I would say was, he's going to make kind of like defenses and also teams out to be daft, if that's a good Scottish word for Tuesday night. So yeah, we'll just see. Yeah,
absolutely, Regan. Can you elaborate on that?
I don't know if I can compare him to Nakamura, because Nakamura was really special to me because he scored so many important goals. But I think he's on the way to becoming a very good player. What I think though is Nakamura was known for his long range goals, so hopefully Rio Hatate can do something similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sending your comments, guys. Much appreciated. Tom Mess is here. Hope you're well, my friend. Thanks to everybody for sending their thoughts and comments. Much appreciated. Right, Grant City, where I'm from, of course, but Aberdeen Rangers, a big game in Scottish football circles. This, Michael.
Yeah, as I said at the top tonight, Dave, I'm looking forward to this game. Obviously, we started the game last night with Celtic and Hibs, another big game, but this is a maybe warm up or a cool down basically. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a good game. As I say, add some spice to the game because of I said Mr. Scott Brown that plays for Aberdeen as well, and also the 2 sets of kind of like supporters from an Aberdeen point of view. They would want to go on a run now because, as you say, it's like the business end of the season, and also they've got a big cup game coming up at the weekend. Obviously, they can't look too far ahead of themselves. They've got to concentrate in the game tonight. For another hand, Rangers, this is Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's first real test going away to Aberdeen and all that, and they want to kick on as well because they were in a good run of form going into the kind of like winter shutdown. So yeah, all in all, it'll be a good game. Even though I've gave it the big build up, Dave, it might end up 0-0 now.
Absolutely. Now, can Aberdeen do Celtic a favour? Indeed, they can, Regan, but also from an Aberdeen persuasion, they want to get a win to try and reignite any hopes of European football for next year.
Yeah, because like you said, Dave, I think it's not important for Aberdeen to do Celtic a favour. I think the important thing from their point of view is to get themselves back on track, because Aberdeen have some games have done well, and then one time they win 2 games in 12, Dave. So it's a little bit up and down for them. But I think if they can get some sort of performance against Rangers tonight, that could do them real justice.
No, sorry, Reagan, on you go.
No, I was just going to say, because I think it could be psychological for them that they've got that 17,000 there supporting them at 2 days, because if this would have been 2 weeks ago, we all know that Rangers were happy to play in an empty stadium. So, I hope that the fans behind them can really help them.
I was just going to say we football's a funnel game, as some guy used to say, because the night that they went tie box, everybody kind of like wrote them off to say, well, yeah, it's going to be a kind of not easy win for Rangers, but Rangers are going to win the game by the odd goal or two, and Aberdeen was 2-0 up. What was it in the first 30 minutes or whatever? So you can't really tell what's going to kind of like happen in these kind of big games as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Where can Aberdeen win the game tonight, do you think, Regan?
I think they need to aim for set pieces, but I think the midfield battle with Scott Brown could be very interesting. The thing that is good from an Aberdeen point of view is that Rangers are probably missing the best player in Joe Aribo, but I think it's important. It's important that Aberdeen really stamp their authority in the game, because they've got some good players like Ramirez. He's done well coming over from America, so I think they've got some really big players that could damage Rangers.
Lewis Ferguson, there's a bit of transfer talk about him. The comment coming about it, what I would say in that persuasion before I go on to Michael is, I don't think he'll go in January, because the offer that Cagliari is making isn't exactly offering money to Aberdeen Football Club right now. And I don't think Aberdeen will appreciate the offer that's been given to them for Lewis Ferguson. But Lewis Ferguson, it'll be a big game for him tonight, because he'll be looking at this by saying, I want to go prove a few doubters wrong tonight, Mike.
Yeah, no, definitely. And Lewis Ferguson's been about there for years and scored some kind of like important goal for Aberdeen as well. So, but I think that he would want to stay to for the second half of the season anyway, to make sure Aberdeen's kind of safe. And if any Aberdeen fans are watching, I'm sorry to say that, but they need to start picking up points. I think when you get to this point of the season, guys, I think most importantly, the score is more important than the performance. I.e., you would take a dogged 1-0 win than a brilliant performance, because at the end of the day, it's all about, I don't want to say points makes prizes. That sounds a bit crazy. Okay, I've said it now, but points do kind of like keep you up and all that. But yeah, the midfield battle is going to be very important and quite to watch tonight as well, because Scott Brown as well in the middle of the park. So that's going to be kind of like exciting to watch as well. I think the last time I actually saw Aberdeen on the TV, was against Celtic back in what was it, October time, and they were very, very disappointing that day. Even though Aberdeen got a goal in the second half, I think it ended 2-1 to Celtic. But I was so disappointed with Aberdeen that day. But October's came and gone, and now we're into a new year. So as Reagan says, you don't know if Aberdeen's going to race a game because one of the big two is coming to the Granite City.
Well, Michael, Regan, I'll get on to you in a minute. Michael, you were described by Tom Messi as Sam Allardyce. What's your reaction to that?
Well, Sam, I'll take that as a compliment. Maybe, I don't know, and all that, But I used to
the rambling tangents completely agrees with you on your point.
Yeah, well, okay. Good night. No, that was a joke there, and stuff. But yeah, thanks for that compliment, and Merry Christmas as well when it comes.
Exactly, even though we are in January. Birds night next Tuesday.
Say again, sorry, Dave.
I said Birds night next Tuesday.
Yeah,
Oh, Birds night, yes.
I might actually do the show in McKilt, so that's something to look forward to.
Oh, fantastic. Regan, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I think it's important for Aberdeen know the way that they approach the game, because from an Aberdeen point of view, you don't want to go out there and let Rangers dominate the ball and create all the chances, because you've got 17,000 Aberdeen fans up there. They'll be expecting you to do really well, and I think it's important that Aberdeen show their fans that they want to do well in this game, because if Rangers go up there and stroll the game, and Aberdeen have let not too many shots at goal, then what are the Aberdeen fans paying for? That they've not seen any invention from their team. So as much as Michael's saying points make prizes, I think Aberdeen fans will be looking for a performance from their team, because they want to show a team to be proud of again, because I think it's been far too long. I think the last trophy they won was under Derek McInnes when they beat Dundee United. So I think for that point of view, I think they'll be trying their best, because if you look at it from Aberdeen's point of view, they're still behind Sean Maloney's team, who have been hopeless this season under Jack Ross. And they're also behind Dundee United and Motherwell as well. So they'll be hoping to bounce back and do well, because as much as this could be a great victory for them, if they don't put in a good performance and they stick the place out, then Aberdeen fans will not be in a very good mood. I think it's important that if they do get beat, then it must be respectable as well.
Absolutely. Scott Brown, how influential is he going to be tonight, Regan?
Is Scott Brown? I
Correct.
think Scott Brown is going to be so important. Like I said, that midfield battle, but also he's got the winning mentality. I mean, you've seen how much that goal meant to him at Ibrox, Dave. I mean, he was running about crazy. So I think he'll be inspiring the players to say, look, this is what we're expecting, and we don't want teams like Rangers and Celtic to go to Aberdeen and go, right, but if we just turn up here, then we're going to win. You won't. I think you need to be the home team and be aggressive and show, well, if you're going to come here, then you're going to need to work hard for 3 points. So I think Scott Brown will be showing that from his team at Celtic, that every single time that a club went to Celtic Park over the past 10 years, they knew they were going to have a hard game. So Scott Brown will be saying to the boys tonight, look, Rangers might win tonight, but we want to show them that we're not going to go down without fighting. So I think he'll be showing his mentality, and I think he'll be so important for that midfield battle tonight, Dave.
Yeah. Before we continue, predictions for Pittodrie tonight. I'm going to put my head on the wall and say I'm going to go 2-1 Aberdeen tonight.
I wish I could be as confident, Dave, but you know what Rangers penalty bingo's like. I'm going to say 3-1 to Rangers.
Okay, Mike.
I saw your comment on Twitter, Reagan, and I don't know if that was a bit of tongue in cheek, but I had a wee laugh to myself, so that was good. I will go the other way, Dave, and I will go 2-1 Rangers.
Lovely. Look forward to proving you wrong at 9:45 tonight. Right, okay, let's go to Edinburgh. We'll get the team news as we get them, so that's why I'm going to Edinburgh next. Big game for both clubs this, Mike.
Yeah, it'll be interesting if the Hearts fans would wish John Suter very happy New Year, but I don't think they will. You know, and this kind of like I don't know if we've got time to speak about this tonight, but this kind of pre-contract deal, I do not like it. And I'll maybe explain later on as well. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite interesting as well. And obviously, you've got Nagy or Chiefty making his debut. Making his so-called debut, because I've not saw the team yet for kind of like St Johnstone. But St Johnstone's another team that needs to start picking up points very quickly compared to last season. They were winning the Scottish Cup and the League Cup and whatever, but they've been so disappointing this season. What are they, about 9 points behind or 10 points behind at the bottom half of the table? So they need to start picking up points. But I can only see a Hearts winning in this game, especially because it's at Tynecastle as well, and they will bring a big fan base. Hearts tonight.
Regan, take Nadia Chiefty out of the equation. St Johnstone haven't really strengthened in the last few weeks.
I think they strengthened with Jacob Butterfield. I watched him in the Championship, but
that was before the break.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree though, Dave. I don't think they've strengthened, and I think it's a little bit surprising considering what Davidson had done for them, because he's been doing so well for them. So I'm just disappointed that they've not shown faith in him to bring some more players in, but they've still 13 days to go, so they'll be hoping to get more business done. But Dave, I'm starting to think this could be a wee tinge of a St Johnstone picking up something tonight, because as bad as St Johnstone have been, they need to pick up sometime, because and this could be the perfect opportunity, because if you think about going on to Tynecastle tonight, it's going to be a bit of a toxic atmosphere, if I could say, Dave, because of does John Suter play, does he not play? What's it going to be like if he touches the ball every time? They're going to be booing. So St Johnstone players will be thinking, well, that might take the heat off of us a little bit, so they might be saying, well, we'll just go there, sit behind the ball, try and keep it tight, and then see how it goes. Because as much as Robbie's team have been great this year, I think this could be the perfect opportunity to get them, because if you look at someone like John Suter, he's a big favourite to the fans there, and for him to sign a pre-contract, I think is left a little bit of a sour taste in the mouth, I would say, Dave, because I think this could be the perfect opportunity, but from Robbie's point of view, I think it could be a very difficult one for him.
And you've brought me on perfectly, young man, because John Suter is starting tonight. The Hearts team is as follows: Craig Gordon in goals, Michael Smith, Stephen Kingsley, John Suter, Peter Herring, Guy Mackay-Stephen, Cammy Devlin, Cochrane, Mackay, Halkett, and Ginnelly. The bench for Hearts is Stewart, McInniff, Boyce, Atkinson, Moore, Halliday, Henderson, and Pollock. Mike, John Suter starting. It's a good job Graham Duffy and Greg Playfair are not on tonight.
You know what, I was just thinking about, if John Suter scores a winning goal, will the Hearts fans boo him because he scored the winning goal? But look, there's no surprise to me that he's in the starting 11. I just feel as though that as I say, I'm just gig against kind of like pre-contract deals for any team and any kind of like player. Maybe that's another conversation for another different night. But I would be interested to watch if there's a 50-50 ball. Would Johnson put his foot in the line or his head on the line, or what we kind of like pull out there? So I'll be very interested to watch that. And it's going to be a very interesting game as well. Because Gary Mackay Stevens is scoring some goal for Hearts as well. So I'll be interesting to watch that game. But yeah, so yeah.
Regan, if you're Greg Playfair or Graham Duffy right now, what are you thinking?
I'm not too happy. I think he should just stay on the bench at the moment, because I think to be honest, Dave, I think the sooner he's a Rangers player, the better for everyone taking part, because I don't think he'll get a good reception tonight. I mean, I would love to be in the Tynecastle dugout when he's doing his pre-match warm-up, because they must be it must be very difficult for him. But I'm sure he's a professional guy. But I just want to mention one guy in the comments who says he's watching from Australia at 2:30 in the morning. So,
Adam, hello.
Good day. Yeah.
Good day.
Good day, mate.
Yeah,
Graham Duffy just came on, said Suter starts for Hearts. He's clearly not been watching.
Shocking.
Come on, Graham. Get with it, mate.
I know. But I just realised I'm wearing my Hearts trackie tonight, so hopefully that brings him luck. No, but
right, St Johnstone. St Johnstone are renowned for being a second half of the season team, Mike. This starts tonight.
Yeah, I would say along the same lines as Aberdeen. It's got to start, as Regan says earlier on, they can't afford to continue. Listen, they've got to break the silence or the dark up at one time or another. So, but yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe that they won the double last season, but they've not lived up to that expectation so far last season. But I'm not saying that they can't go to Tynecastle and get a point or even get 3 points. But what I'm saying is that they need to start playing football and scoring goals and get them up at the top of the table. Because I mean, they were all touting for Callum Davison in the summer to go down south. Yet nobody's looking at him because his team that's not up to speed and winning games. So they've got to do it somewhere sometime. But Mr. Duffy might hate me for saying this, but it might be tonight at Tynecastle, because it's because it's a hostile atmosphere that might play into St Johnston's hands. You don't know.
Absolutely. You'll be wondering why I was looking outside. I'll tell you in a minute. Right, but first and foremost, predictions for Hearts and Johnstone. I think Hearts will win this comfortably. I'm going to go 3-0 Hearts.
I thought you were looking out the window for Santa, David, but I'm sorry because he's been and gone. But no, 2 for me in this game.
Okay,
I'm going to go a draw. I'm going to go 1-1.
Right, back to Pittodrie. Right, I stay about, just for anybody who doesn't know, I stay about 15 minutes away from Pittodrie, walking wise. Right, there's a bus parked outside my flat right now that says 55 champions again. So there's definitely a large contingent of Rangers fans out tonight, and you could safely say that the police aren't at my door, but there's police within my vicinity. Yes.
I don't know if that's 55 fans on the bus. Maybe it's a 55 seater. I don't really know that, Dave, but that's interesting.
Absolutely. Right. Team for tonight: Aberdeen. Joe Lewis in goals, Ross McCrory, Scott Brown, Ramirez, Hedges, Ojo, Hayes, Ferguson, Jenks, Ramsey, and Bates. The bench is Woods, Gallagher, McGinn, Jett, McGee, McLennan, Campbell, Bannon, and Kennedy. What do you think about this one, Regan? It must be noted that Lewis Ferguson plays his 150th game for Aberdeen tonight.
I'm pretty happy with that Aberdeen team. I think it's possibly the strongest team that you could have went for there, Dave.
Michael?
Yeah, no, I would agree with Reagan. That's the strongest team that they can put out as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, for Rangers, the Rangers is McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Bassey, Barisic, Kamara, Sands, Hadji, Wright, Kent, and Morelos. Now, before I go to the bench, this will be the first time that Scott Wright's played at Pittodrie in the Rangers strip, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is, Dave. So that'll be interesting to see what type of response he gets.
It's a big game for him tonight, but if he doesn't do well, what do you think happens for Scott Wright, Mike?
Yeah, well, obviously that he'll get booed, won't it? Because no matter if you're, you know, like a fan's favourite of the time or whatever, fans are fickle sometimes. They forget about that if they go to the other side of the city or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think he's the games that he's actually played for Rangers this season. He's actually caused a few teams problems. But I'll be interested to see how he copes in that hostile atmosphere.
Absolutely. When we look at this game tonight, I mean, it is a big game for both clubs. But I mean, Aberdeen have got a strong lineup in there. And I think the fans have an important role to play tonight, Regan.
Yeah, Dave, I spoke about that earlier, but football is nothing without the fans being there. And if it wasn't for 2 weeks ago, we'd have had no fans there. So thank God that we moved the winter break. But yeah, I think it could play a big part because, like you said, I don't think Aberdeen and Rangers have got a very good friendship, would we say, Dave? And I think the Aberdeen fans could play a big part because you look at the Scott Brown, the captain, Johnny Hayes. You've got some big Ferguson as well. So I mean, you've got some very big players there, and they want to do well for the Aberdeen fans. Just want to ask you a question, Dave. Do you think they'll strengthen the squad anymore at Aberdeen?
I think they're looking to. They're also for Jamie McGrath. Jamie McGrath's made it clear to Aberdeen Football Club that he wants to go down to England. Stephen Glass is moving that on because he only wants players that are committed to Aberdeen Football Club. I think Aberdeen are in the market, absolutely, because Ryan Hedges is, of course, interested in Blackburn. So I can see 3 or 4 signs coming in. Obviously, about talk about Calvin Ramsey and Lewis Ferguson. I think for Ramsey, I think he'll be the summer. For Ferguson, I think he'll be round about the summer as well. But these things could obviously play its part in the last day as well. So I think there's still outgoings and incomings to come from Aberdeen Persuasion as well. On the bench for Rangers, McLaughlin, Simpson, Balgant, King, Lundstrom, Bakuna, McCann, Itten, and Forson Jr. Right, on to Tardis, Dundee against St Mirren. A big game for both clubs this, and Dundee will be buoyed by Tony Watt, probably, with T-Lines, probably making his debut.
Yeah, because he said in his press conference yesterday, Dave, as you'll know, he said that he's looking forward to being there tomorrow night. So I'm guessing he'll be in the starting lineup to make the Dundee United fans very, very happy. But yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one because every game that Dundee United have played this season, they've only won by a 1-goal margin, I think. So I think it's going to be a very tight game. And in terms of Jim Goodwin and St Mirren, I think they've been a bit steady. That they've not been too great, but they've not been bad either. Obviously, they got that great result against Celtic pre-winter break, so they'll be hoping to do well from that. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to seeing Tony Watt hopefully and seeing some football fans back as well. I mean, I just love watching Jamie McGrath as well. So no, I'm just looking forward to a good game there.
Now, he'll have to come off the bench because the team line has been announced. It's Siegrist, Mulgrew, Niskanen, Pollitt, McNulty, Edwards, Dylan Levitt, Nielsen, Harks, McMahon, and Fuchs. The bench is Eriksson, Sporler, Clark, Butcher, Glass, Freeman, Mockery, Aperi, and Watt. So, Mike, big game this for Mark McNulty tonight.
Yeah, it's a big game for Matt McNulty, but also obviously as you guys were saying, Mr. What will come off the bench at some point or on the game if they were maybe struggling or whatever in the second half. But yeah, Reagan's right. It's good to see fans back at football, and out with Celtic and Rangers. Dundee United has a good support, and because they're at home tonight, I'm expecting maybe not a full house, but a good support from United as well. United got a good team. I'm very impressed by Seagrass, the Dundee United goalkeeper. In fact, I think there was a rumour a few months ago that Celtic were looking at maybe that's put to bed now because they've signed Scott Bain up now. But yeah, looking forward to the game, and as Reagan was saying, St Mirren kind of like park about too many buses behind the ball against Celtic. A well-deserved point that night, and they were unlucky against Rangers, even though Rangers beat them earlier on in the season. But St Mirren played well for the first 45 minutes, and then they collapsed when Rangers got the first goal. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting game. I like Jim Goodwin. I think he's a good guy as well. I'll be interesting that game. But if you want a score prediction for me, Dave, I will go for 3-1 to United.
Lovely. Michael McEwen has pushed the bridge tonight, so well done, Mike, for that. St Mirren lineup, just to finish things off here, Regan. Alnwick, Fraser, Shaughnessy, Dunn, Tanzer, Power, Erhan, Henderson, Kilty, Ronan, and Dennis. Now. I asked you to go do my homework, your homework, and the youth striker coming in. He's on the bench. The South United, Linus, Yarminski, Tate, Miller, Flynn, McAllister, Grieve, Allen, and Brophy. Well, good team, Regan. But 3 strikers on the bench for St Mirren tonight.
Yeah, I just think that shows the strength and depth that Jim Goodwin's got there. I didn't hear you say Jamie McGrath, so is he maybe being lined up to go away? Or is...
Yep, he's nowhere near the picture tonight.
There you go, that might be a bit of speculation for me, but maybe he could be off, Dave.
There we go, Regan. You'll need to tell your tabloids to be exclusive. Jamie McGrath's not playing. Right, Regan, I'll fancy 3-1 United tonight. What are you thinking?
I'm going to go 2-1 Dundee United.
Lovely. Goals at Tardis, brilliant. By the way, I'd normally be there tonight, but there's been a work situation. There's been a situation in my work, so I've got the pleasure of Regan Stevenson and Michael McEwen tonight. 47 minutes and 13 minutes to go. Let's finish the game in a high. And where we're going to go to next? Good question.
But I think the big question for me, Dave, is what would you rather have? Go to the Dundee United game or spend part of the night with me, Mr. Stevens?
Well,
what you're going to say, so don't answer that one.
I'd go for the latter, indeed. Right, we're going to go to Digwall. Big game. Ross County against Motherwell. Ross County are a side that only the Old Firm, the Big Glasgow 2 have beaten so far, and they're up against the Motherwell side that will have a point to prove to an extent after Tony won't move it on.
I think, I was so disappointed, Dave, because you asked me and Reagan half an hour before the show to do our homework, and I did my homework, and you never asked me any questions. But don't worry, I put the bit of paper in the bin now. But yeah,
I'm no Jim Goodwin.
On to the game, yeah. Ross County, it's always difficult, no matter who goes up there, Dave, on that very tight part. But it would be interesting to see how Motherwell really gets on with Tony Watt, because he was the main contributor to the goals before the kind of winter break as well. But Ross County needs to another team. I think that a broken record tonight, but I think they need to step up to the plate and start winning games, or else they'll be in a bit of bother at the bottom of the table.
Mm-hmm. Team lines as follows: Regan, Maynard, Brewer, Randall for Ross County, Vokins, Kinkoa, Spittle, Calkin, Iakoviti, Charles Cook, Drysdale, Hungbo, and White. The bench is Samuel. Dominic Samuel, sorry, there's 2 Samuels. Burrows, Ramsey, Tilson, Payton, Wright, McKinnon, and Laidlaw. What are you thinking, Regan?
Yeah, I think that's a good Ross County team. Obviously, I think they brought a new guy in from Manchester City during the January window. Is that right, Dave? They brought someone in.
Yes. I might be wrong, but I think that's the guy. Is it the guy Burrows or Ramsey?
Yeah, I think it is. But yeah, Dave, you know I've been a big fan of Ross County this season. I think they play some good football. I like I like Joseph Humble. I like Regan Charles Cook, my namesake. But yeah, I think they're a very good team to watch, and I'm expecting a very tough game for Motherwell because, like Michael said, the main source of goals for Motherwell was Tony Watt, but he's no longer there. So I think the priority for Graham Alexander will be to take something from the game and hope that he can bring a striker in the next few weeks.
I gave you a fist pump there for one precise reason, because that Rangers boss has just left my house, so I'm absolutely delighted. Meaning, I will live forevermore. My window will not get tanned in, so I'm delighted with that. I never thought that situation would arise, but there we go. My window's absolutely fine, by the way. Moving on, Kelly and goals. The outfield players are Adoro, Sohom, McGabby, McGinley, Goss, Maguire, Donnelly, Roberts, Rory, and Van Veen. The subs: Fox, Morrison, Carroll, O'Connor, Slattery, Ama, Loser, Cornelius, Grimshaw, and Shields. Regan, what we're thinking?
I think it's a decent Motherwell team, but I think Ross County will be looking at that and thinking we've got a very good chance here. So I think that in terms of Motherwell, they'll be looking for the transfer market and hoping they can bring someone in. Dave, do we know how much they got from Tony Watt, or do we just think it was a
100k.
minimum
100k.
100k? So hopefully uh, Alan Burrows can maybe recoup some of that and help Graham Alexander to bring someone in. I'm going to stick my neck in the line and say 2-0 to Ross County.
Mm-hmm. Mike, what we're thinking? A big game this for Graham Alexander tonight. Who will go for a win, especially with to maybe make sure that people aren't thinking Motherwell are a one-man team, or thinking there's a solo business and Tony Watt. Who will looking for goals from the strikers tonight?
It's a big test, isn't it? Because not only because they're going to Ross County in a very tight park, you would say, but this is a very this is a first test because like the main goal scorer in the team. So it'll be interesting to see how they go on. And I know Motherwell fans can argue about Van Veen. He scored a lot of goals as well. He misses a lot of chances as well. So it'll be very interesting this game. I'm going for one each year.
I'm going to agree. Actually, I don't think they'll be separate the sides. Right, you guys had your food yet?
No, not yet, Dave. No.
Okay, because we're going to finish off at the Tony Macaroni Arena. Livingston against Dundee. A game which features both sides at the bottom end of the table, and both sides will be desperate to pick up points tonight, Mike.
Have you been up all night practicing that, Dave? Because that was well done. About the Tony Macaroni skigging. But no, I mean, seriously, this this is a very kind of like interesting game. As well, you don't know what Dundee team you're going to get now, because they've got all the issues of the park. Well, when Griffiths was there and whatnot as well. But you're always in a good game at the Tony Macaroni as well. But as most teams find out this season. So yeah, I mean, Livingston's a very kind of like stuffy. Livingston's a very kind of like stuffy team. So yeah, I'll go for like a Livingston win here. But again, I feel as though I'm going to repeat myself a lot tonight, but I'm not honest. But Dundee would need to start picking up points and winning games, because when at the beginning of the season, when Griffiths went there, and they've got Charlie Agam and players like that, you think, well, Dundee's going to be up thereabouts this season. But sadly for Dundee fans, it didn't turn out that way.
Livingston team Regan is Stryek, Devlin, Fitzwater, Oberlai, Penrith, Holt, Ominoga, Pittman, Bailey, Shinney, and Anderson. The bench is Maley, Boys, Longridge, McMillan, Jacobs, Montano, Caveat, Forrest, and Chuk Wemeka. There we go. Big test.
Is the guy, Dave, is the guy from Abroaf not back at Livingston?
He is, but obviously not in the squad.
Yeah, because I was surprised he's not, because he was having a great season. I think he scored something like 15 goals for Abroaf, so yeah, I'm surprised he's not in the squad.
Before I get Regan's reaction, Livingston have made some transfer news. I will just go and get it. They've signed a goalkeeper from Ruben Kazan. Good signing this. Ivan Konovalov. Livingston is making my life pretty hard right now because they are coming up with some random names to sign. So there we go. Ivan Konovalov has signed from Ruben Kazan, subject to international clearance and a work permit being granted. But what do we think about that Livingston team, Regan?
Yeah, I think it's a team that will probably win tonight because, like Michael said, I've not been impressed by Dundee the last few weeks. But yeah, I think it just shows you that Livingston, I don't know how they're doing it, but they got someone from Monaco last year. Remember, Dave? They got what was his name again? Was it? What was the guy? No, what was the guy they got from Monaco? It was a centre defender, Montano.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, I think obviously Livingston have probably told the guy that he's going to play most weeks. So yeah, that just shows you that David Martindale's obviously told the guy that he's got a place for him. So yeah, good luck to Livingston for that. But like Michael said, I think that this could be a game that Livingston could do really well in because Dundee have not been impressive. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Livingston win.
Okay, absolutely. And I before telling you it's the Dundee team, but Mike, what we're thinking?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, a couple. So the last season, David Martindale was on a good run of form, wasn't he? He won the first 14 games or something, and they got to a semi-final of the League Cup as well, and that was a successful season for Livingston there. But yeah, as I say, they're on a very stuffy team. On the other side of the fence, Regan Bright are very disappointed with Dundee this season, with the team that they had at the beginning of the season. I don't think off-field matters can help the situation one wee bit there. So I'm going for Livingston 1 here, 2-0.
Dundee team, Regan. Legston's, Kerr, Marshall, Fontaine, McGee, Mullen, McGowan, McMullen, Anderson, and Charlie Adam returns. The bench, Waller, Jakubiak, Barron, Mulligan, Elliott, Robertson, Griffiths, and Cummings. Team, first and foremost, good team. A little bit surprised about Mullen being up front himself.
Yeah, Dave, I was just a bit surprised you got all the mix in there. McMullen, McGowan.
I know.
But yeah, I think it's a good team. I'm a bit surprised that he's not going for a bit of pace up front with either Jason Cummings or Lee Griffiths. But I think it's important for those two to get back in the books of James McPake because, like we said, obviously Jason Cummings he got banned for a little bit for a bit of the off-field stuff. And then Lee Griffiths has been released by Celtic, so I think he'll just be hoping to get back and scoring goals and proving people wrong again.
Absolutely.
I was waiting for you to re-get McEwen, another M in that Dundee team, David, but I didn't want you to have a hard time with it as well. But yeah, I mean, I think me and you spoke about this on the show last week, Dave. It's hard to believe that 3 years ago, or maybe more than 3 years ago, Lee Griffiths was scoring 2 free kicks, and that present goalkeeper at Celtic, Joe Hart, you know, and you think he was going to kick on now because he scored 2 brilliant free kicks, and then we all know how that kind of ended up as well. I still think, you know, like he's got a point to prove. But that's it. But in saying that, I think he's running out of time. To be honest, because we all know he's kind of pally with Jane McPake. Jane McPake gave him a chance, and no disrespect to Dundee, Dave. But if you can't make it Dundee, I don't think you can make it anywhere. And that's not me being disrespectful to Dundee as a football club or Dundee fans. What was it? He just scored 2 goals this season already.
Both against Aberdeen. Both against Aberdeen.
Yeah. So they keep bringing that up, Dave. But yeah, I mean, but I think that's quite a bad return for Griffiths standards.
Now, my job, Regan, is to get the stories. And I was surprised when James McPake told me to my face yesterday that he wants like Griffiths beyond the end of January.
Yeah, because I was thinking, from what we read in the tabloids, that Dundee were looking to let Lee Griffiths go as well, Dave. So, yeah, that's a surprise to me too.
What does Lee Griffiths have to do, do you think, Regan?
I think he just needs to knuckle down. I think I've said that for the past 10 seasons, though, Dave. So I'm just hoping that he can knuckle down. I think Lee Griffiths was doing well at Celtic when he had a tea cake. So maybe if James McPake would give Lee Griffiths a wee tea cake in the side of the park, maybe he could do well. But no, I'm just hope that he can get back to scoring goals, and maybe if he can improve his fitness, then maybe he can enjoy football more instead of just being on the bench and being happy to pick up his money, Dave. Because we know. Everybody knows Lee Griffiths is a proper striker, but he needs to start showing it on a proper basis. Because
do you think tonight will be the last time we'll see Jason Cummings in a Dundee squad?
Yeah, I do, because not just because of what he done at the Hydro. I think just because if you look at him, he was at Shrewsbury for a couple of years and it didn't really go well there. He's been to Dundee. I think maybe for himself, maybe he'll go to a Dunfermline, a Queen of the South, a Partick Thistle, somewhere in the Championship where he can still maybe win the Championship and do well. Because at Dundee, I think his days are numbered, sadly.
Absolutely. Right, I'm surprised Scott Howson had popped up yet because it's time for the Emmerdale. It's time. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining in. I'm off to listen to Radio Scotland now. Big night of football. I think we've covered every blade of grass for you. I'm off for a shower because I'm dehydrated and I need some water. So thanks very much, guys, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow.